Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News. Here's what we have in the bulletin. Driver of illegal taxi that claimed the lives of 2 Lennon High students pleads guilty. Controversy over road repair work in central Manchester. And later in sports, Rashada Williams criticizes JCA. Thank you for joining us. I'm Carrie Simpson. Here are the details. Up first this afternoon, the driver of the ill-fated illegal taxi which claimed the lives of 2 Lennon High School students has accepted responsibility. Kerome Wint pleaded guilty before the Clarendon Parish Court on Tuesday. Wint is charged with causing death by dangerous driving, driving without a road license, and having no insurance coverage. The 34-year-old resident of Mocko in the parish was arrested following the motor vehicle crash, which led to the deaths of Jodian Lodge and Richard Toller, students of Lennon High. The students were passengers in Wint's vehicle, which collided with a Toyota Probox, a registered public passenger vehicle. The police say Wint was operating an illegal taxi. He is expected to be sentenced next week. The Negril Fire Brigade is once again without an emergency vehicle, sparking concerns among stakeholders. O'Shane Masters has that story.
The Negril Fire Brigade is under renewed scrutiny following the crash of its second ambulance, intensifying concerns over emergency medical services in the resort town. Commissioner of the Jamaica Fire Brigade, Stuart Beckford, says the ambulance was on its way back to the fire station minutes after 11 a.m. on Tuesday when it collided head-on with a Toyota minivan along the Sheffield Main Road.
This ambulance now being out of service, it simply means that the division of Westmoreland will be operating with one less ambulance, and this no doubt will put a strain on our ability to respond to.
President of the Negril Chamber of Commerce, Elaine Allen Bradley, says the recurring accidents have raised questions about the management and operation of emergency service vehicles.
I am very concerned for our people in Negril, because if we have, I don't know why the ambulances are being written off so quickly or readily. Is it to say that the drivers of the ambulances are not expert? Accidents do happen, but why Negril has been having so many ambulances written off? So there must be something with the competencies. Negril is a tourist resort and it cannot do without an ambulance.
Other stakeholders in the resort town are also concerned.
We have gone through about 4 or 5 ambulances in the last 10 years in Negril, and that's quite a lot. I believe that the ambulance drivers need some serious training, how to do emergency training, because if this is going to continue to happen, then I don't think the authorities can keep up with buying too much more.
MP caretaker for Western Westmoreland, Ian Hale, says despite the ambulance crashing yesterday, there needs to be speed in getting back an ambulance in the space.
And I'm calling on the Minister of Health. I'm calling on the Minister of Local Government. I'm calling on the authority. I'm calling on the government. Please ensure that Negril gets an ambulance. It is critical and it is vitally important. We don't want to lose any of our citizens, not one whatsoever.
O'Shane Masters, TVJ News.
Still in Negril, thousands of gallons of water continue to be wasted due to a broken main in front of the Negril fire station. Stakeholders are upset that the situation has been left unattended amid the water shortages in the resort town. Halshane Burke reports.
A ruptured water main in front of the Negril fire station has deepened the public frustration over worsening water infrastructure in the resort town, which continues to face chronic supply shortages. Our news team was told that thousands of gallons of water have been wasting at the location as it has not been addressed for weeks. PNP caretaker for Western Westmoreland, Ian Hales, says the wastage is of great concern as several areas are without water.
And to see the amount of water in front of the fire station now for days without the situation not remedied by the National Water Commission, it's just disappointing. I think when our people needs water, and at this time to see the water running on the roadway, it's a problem, and it is something that has to be addressed. I'm calling on the authority, the NWC, the Minister of Water, and the President of the NWC. We have to create a better mechanism, something that is efficient in ensuring that we can deal with water situation when we have water main leaks across the country.
Hotelier Penny Hill says there are other areas where there are leaks in Negril, particularly along the West End stretch. He says there needs to be checks and balances.
You see the survey, the workmen passed every day, and they just look at it and drive past it. I don't know who is giving who the authority to do what. But I believe there needs to be some kind of checks and balance as to when they come out in the morning, what they're supposed to do from what they're not supposed to do. Because something's definitely not kosher with NWC.
In the meantime, Communication Manager at the NWC, Delano Williams, says the Commission has taken note of the broken water main and says it will be addressed in short order. Hal Shane Burke, TVJ News.
Member of Parliament for St. James Southern Homer Davis is firing back at recent criticisms made by the People's National Party General Secretary regarding the Cornwall Regional Hospital rehabilitation project. The MP says the opposition is quick to point fingers but silent when it comes to acknowledging the sacrifices of the nation's healthcare workers.
With work still underway at the Cornwall Regional Hospital, criticism has been mounting, particularly from PNP General Secretary Dr. Dayton Campbell, who recently accused the government of gross mismanagement of the multi-million-dollar rehabilitation project. But MP for St. James Southern, Homer Davis, is pushing back.
You know what hurt me? When I hear some people come to this parish and all them are talk about and of course Cornwall Regional Hospital. They're not top cost Cornwall Regional Hospital. And let me say to you, the doctors and the nurses and the other staff that works at the hospital is doing a fantastic job under the circumstances.
He acknowledged that the restoration of Cornwall Regional Hospital has taken longer than expected, but argued that the government remains committed to completing the project in full and ensuring it meets modern standards. He says criticism should not come at the expense of those on the front lines.
Any one of us to take sick tonight, originally the whole way around go. We don't know where else we go. We can't go to a private hospital, and even when you go to the private hospital, they must send you back original, because of them have the better doctors up there.
Hence, Mr. Davis says,
our Cornwall Regional, we must defend it, and your government is making sure that on completion of what they are doing will be the best medical facilities that you can find anywhere in the Caribbean.
The Cornwall Regional Hospital project, which began in 2017, has faced delays and budget adjustments. The government says it expects major phases of the work to be completed by the end of this year. O'Shane Masters, TVJ News.
Member of Parliament for Manchester Central, Rhoda Moy Crawford, is being taken to task over comments that she repaired 35 roads in her constituency. Councillors at the Mandeville Municipal Corporation are demanding answers about which programs the roads were rehabilitated under. Details in this report. Member of Parliament for Manchester Central, Rhoda Moy Crawford, has declared that she has repaired 35 roads in her constituency, 6 of them being fully rehabilitated. At the recent meeting of the Mandeville Municipal Corporation, Councillor for the Knockpatrick Division, Carl Smith, raised concern. Mr. Smith questioned whether the work was being done under the Spark or REACH program, arguing that either way there are issues.
I'm wondering if this council is aware or can give us any update as to which program that road is being fixed or patched under. Because my knowledge and what is being said is that the Sparks program should be total rehabilitation of the road to include water and drainage.
Our news centre also obtained videos of some of the roads in question, further outlining the concerns.
The Member of Parliament, Rhoda Crawford, has Sunset listed as one of her roads to be fixed under the Sparks program. We want to know if it is Sunset Boulevard, Sunset Drive, Sunset Crescent, Sunset Close, or Sunset Avenue. Which is it?
Meanwhile, Chairman of the Mandeville Municipal Corporation and candidate for the Manchester Central constituency seat, Donovan Mitchell, thinks Ms. Crawford's action may represent a breach of protocol regarding approval for the work done.
To name the parish council, the municipal corporation roads that she has fixed, which agency fixed them, and when they were fixed. And if she got approval from the corporation to fix those roads. We get letters from NWA for the Sparks roads. We don't get from MPs that thing. So there's a protocol. The municipal corporation cannot fix a road for NWA without we getting approval from them. So why do other people want to do otherwise?
Transport Minister Darrell Vaz announced that Clarendon will be among other parishes to benefit from the new rural school bus transportation system. Mr. Vaz made the revelation at the recent launch of the community electrification project.
I have received the schedule from the Ministry of Education, which is like the first 100 buses where they will go, what parishes. All of it will be done by the Ministry of Education in terms of the regional office, the schools, the routes and all of that. JUTC will operate. And I can say that from the first schedule that I've gotten, there are 9 school buses that are to come to Clarendon for September.
It's time for a break. Stay with us. More stories when we return. Welcome back to the Midday News. It's now time for the Business Minute.
The central bank says it will be seeking to take another $15 billion out of circulation today to help stabilize the exchange rate and contain inflation. This follows yesterday's intervention in the foreign exchange market with $30 million. The Bank of Jamaica also says investors will be presented with a certificate of deposit at an interest rate of 6.25% per year. Some $750 million of the $15 billion will be offered to public sector investors, while private sector investors will have to compete for the remaining $14.25 billion. Interest paid on these deposits will be taxed at 25%. Further afield, U.S. inflation slowed to its lowest rate in more than 4 years, an unexpected and welcomed development at a time when President Donald Trump's dramatically escalated tariffs are expected to cause prices to rise. Consumer prices rose 0.2% last month, bringing the annual inflation rate to 2.3%, an unexpectedly cooler reading than the 2.4% increase seen in March, according to the latest Consumer Price Index data released on Tuesday by the Bureau of Labor Statistics. It's the lowest annual rate since February 2021. For the Business Minute, I'm Shane Masters.
Jane, now here's Shamila Pullen with a preview of Wednesday's health report.
In this evening's health report, we look at the influenza virus.
So with the flu viruses in general, it's similar to like persons may have the experience from COVID. So persons with comorbidity, like the hypertension, the diabetes, and also the elderly is normally at risk. Persons who have weakened immune system, who are sometimes immunocompromised, like persons which have like HIV, not control, or other immunodeficient condition, are at increased risk of having severe infection from the flu viruses.
That's the health report in Primetime News at 7. And now for today's healthy living tip. Rest. Drink plenty of fluids. Take over-the-counter medications and stay home.
Time now for the top stories from around the world.
In the region,
Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago Kamla Persad-Bissesa has implemented a number of cost-saving measures to fill gaps as the government faces a multi-billion deficit. Prime Minister Persad-Bissesa says her government will be curbing unnecessary spending even as a review is undertaken of state enterprises and government rentals. There will also be a halting of the purchase of new vehicles for government ministers and a review of the tax exemption allotments. The Prime Minister said the projected deficit for 2025 is some $11 billion. On the international scene, at least 48 Palestinians have been killed in a series of Israeli airstrikes in northern Gaza overnight. An Indonesian hospital reported that 22 children and 15 women were among the dead after a number of homes in Jabalia town and a refugee camp were hit. The Israeli military said it was looking into the reports. It had warned residents of Jabalia and neighboring areas to evacuate on Tuesday night after a Palestinian armed group launched rockets into Israel. And those are the top regional and international stories. And we head to another break. When we come back, we'll have Midday Sports.